Social media nowadays is one of the main ways people learn trading. It's become an essential part of almost everyone's life. You go on social media, you see traders, you see people sharing knowledge about how to trade, how to become successful. And in many ways, I think social media nowadays is getting more and more bad for traders. And today I'll share with you why I think that is, with some examples of things I've seen online, and how sometimes stepping away from social media can be actually much better for your success in trading. Let's dive right into it. Alright, before we dive right in, if you have your own opinion on this, you can always comment below. I want to hear your thoughts on this, how you feel like social media helps you or impacts you. I want to hear your comments below, of course. You might not agree with what I'm saying today, but I think it's really something I've seen myself, and I want to hear your thoughts. So comment below, let me know your opinion, and let's dive right into it. So imagine this, you open Instagram today, or you open whatever social media you prefer. If you're older, it might be Facebook. If you're younger, it might be Instagram or somewhere in between or something else. And you see someone who's out there with their fancy car or their like really fancy watch, and they tell you how much money they made trading. And then you compare yourself with that person. You say, oh wow, they're so good. They're so successful. They've done way better than I did. And you know, of course, the main issue is you compare yourself, but this could be fake. You have no proof that they're actually making money from trading, first of all. And you have no proof that what they're saying they made is actually real. Like, everything now can be fake. There are really good YouTubers who are more specialized in kind of showing that kind of thing, how people are able to fake their trading statements or fake their account and all that kind of stuff. It's actually pretty crazy. So just a quick clip here of how it's done.
That's where the genius of overlays comes in. See, in this video, we're about to watch Ricky totally fuck it up. Now notice how it's 7:39 AM on his computer, which is 10:39 New York time since Ricky lives in Arizona, so the market is open. But the time on his thing called Swim trading platform is stuck at 19:04 or 7:04 PM. And not only that, but the date is stuck at September 5th when the video was streamed on September 11th. So either Ricky is a fucking time traveler or, and more than likely, he's got an overlay to cover up the paper trading account notice, but forgot to update his overlay with the right date and a live clock.
I'll leave the full video link below, you can check it out, it's very interesting. I was really blown away by that video first because it's something that I never thought was actually being done out there, but it's actually true. So check it out. But yeah, the problem is that a lot of what you see online, a lot of the statements or the proof, or even if it's not fake, it could be completely taken out of context. It could be someone who took really high risk on their account to be able to show these big numbers. Or someone who's got like 50 demo accounts and they just trade them with different kind of sides. Sometimes they go long on one, they short on the other one, they trade that pair, this stock on the other account and stuff. And overall, they have one that makes really good money and they show that one for social media. So it could be a completely different context than someone who's actually making money trading, who was actually doing it in a very risk balanced way. So like risking not too much money on every trade. And you just don't know that. You have no clue behind the context or the proof that you see of that trader. Now I get that people want to use social media as a motivation. You want to have people who are traders, you want to be around people who do what you want to do eventually. It's giving you some motivation, something you can look forward to. But the thing is, a lot of trading success comes down to solo time, being alone, working on your style, and figuring out like where you should be going next in trading. You need to have your own personal style of trading. It's very hard if you find someone out there online who's doing exactly what you do and who is like exactly the same personality as you, like exactly like everything is the same. It's very rare you'll find this. Some people are going to be more risk averse, some people are going to be more prone to taking a bit more risk, some people will be more kind of on a day trading style, they want to be able to be active in the market. Some people will want to be more hands off, more like swing trading and position trading. And all these things in between make it that it's very hard to find someone who's going to be exactly like you online. And so much of trading is going to be about you understanding yourself, understanding where you are at and what else you need to move forward. What are the things you need to solve in your trading? So much of it is about journaling for yourself and kind of figuring out what thing works for you and what thing doesn't work for you. And there's nothing of this you can find on social media. But absolutely nothing of it. It's all solo time. It's all figuring out what works for you, what doesn't work for you, maybe testing it out and going back and forth with it. The other big issue I have is that you also often hear the same thing online. Like, go listen to traders and you see for some reason the same advice will come up, either because people don't know what to say or they repeat what they heard somewhere else. And all the same advice gets kind of rehearsed and resaid for multiple times. And you often hear these common sayings that you probably heard many times before. Now, the key thing with these sayings is that the more you hear something, the more you think it's true. So the more you hear things like, oh, the trend is your friend, or the more you hear things like, don't risk more than you can afford to lose. These things become very, very true. And then you start to believe them. And these common sayings are often wrong, or they're often outdated, or they're often just things that people said, but that don't really make sense. So yes, the trend can be your friend, but yes, you can trade against the trend too sometimes and make a lot of money. And yes, It's good to not risk more than you can afford to lose, but you shouldn't lose your whole saving from trading too either. You shouldn't go in the market expecting you lose your account completely, like wiped out. It's not how it works. And yes, aiming for like a 2-to-1 reward to risk, like everyone says, is good, but you don't have to do that. You could have a much different reward to risk, again, based on your personality and what you prefer and what makes sense to you. And you don't have to follow the 2-to-1 reward to risk rule all the time. It doesn't make any sense. And yes, people have said for years you cannot go broke taking profits. But yes, you can go broke taking profits. You can actually blow up your account by taking small profits early and not letting your trades run to your full targets. That happened to a lot of people. You might not agree with me on this, but what's been repeated on social media nowadays a lot is these smart money concepts. That oh, you gotta trade like the banks. And no, you don't have to do that. You can be having a completely different style to trading like the banks and make a lot of money. And also banks don't trade the way you think they trade. It's been the common theme for gurus online now to talk about, oh, you gotta trade these smart money concepts or these ICT concepts, or you gotta trade at the banks. And all these things don't make any sense. But again, the more you hear this, the more you think it's true. And the more you think, oh, well, if everyone says that, then it must be true. And I should follow it. And that can be a very bad spiral to be in. So is social media completely bad? Well, I don't think so. I think there's many ways you can kind of use it to become a better trader. You can surround yourself with people who are actually doing what you want to do in the future. You can definitely learn from people who have the same style or similar style than you. But you gotta take it and leave it. You cannot just think that everyone who's out there is gonna be legit and good. And you cannot think that all the stuff that's out there, you gotta learn and apply it. That's completely insane. You gotta really take things that serve you and leave stuff that's there that doesn't serve you. And also work on yourself. Work in private on your solo time to test a strategy, test an edge, to backtest stuff, to journal about how you feel, what you should do to move forward. These are things that no one else out there can actually do for you. You gotta do it yourself. And if you always compare yourself with other people, then you're gonna be stuck in a very, very bad place where all you do is kind of not enough and you want to have more returns, more money, and that kind of stuff. So if you agree, let me know by commenting below. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section as always. And if you don't agree, also let me know. I want to hear your thoughts. If you find someone on social media who's really good or you've used it to become a good trader, comment below. I doubt it, but I want to hear your comments as always, your thoughts. Everyone can share their opinion, and that's kind of the cool thing about YouTube. Here's a video YouTube think you'll want to watch next, and I'll catch you back right there in the video. Ciao.